Hi, welcome to San Francisco Weekly News. My name is Diane Wesley Smith. Happy Black History Month. Black history is actually it's part of the history of the world. And we have been everywhere. From China, you see those little round curls? Those are African curls. To India, to Italy. We've been everywhere around the globe, and you can see our rich history and our rich physical characteristics reflected everywhere. So happy Black History Month. Let's bring the love back. When you know who you are, you can bring the love back. You can be loving to, first of all, yourself and your own, or people that, your family, and then people that look like you. Then you can learn to love others. And that brings the love back. And that comes from something that I and many thousands experienced. People came here to San Francisco to experience the love. During the civil rights movement, it was spurred by love of people. This show is spurred by my love of San Francisco and my deep desire and affection and love for each and every one of you. Those that look like me, it's not that I love people that look like me more, but people that look like me are in the same boat that I am, and that is we still have murder, we still have rampant discrimination. The level of discrimination that I've seen in San Francisco has been absolutely remarkable because we didn't grow up that way. None of us, no matter what color. Anyway, happy Black History Month. When you know who you are, the pants stop sagging, your life stops dragging, and you won't smoke cigarettes. And if you, let me retract that about, you can know who you are and still smoke cigarettes, because my mother was my first Black history teacher, and she died of lung cancer. And she tried and she tried and she tried. The unfortunate part was my mother started smoking at the age of 12. So, that being said, it's a hard habit to break. There's something in it, but love yourself. That's addictive in that, cigarettes. But love yourself enough to don't start. If you have children, if you're smoking, see, my mother smoked, so I tried it. So if you're smoking, if you don't want your children to smoke, they could turn out to be one of those that are so addicted to cigarettes and nicotine that they cannot quit, which was my personal experience. I was fortunate I stopped smoking. I don't smoke. So to me, making the switch to Juul, it's like, to me, if you don't quit, you ain't done shit. Excuse me, but it's just like that. Black history. What's up with these Newports and stuff? Man, anyway. Much love, much respect. Don't sell yourself short. Learn your history. In Black History Month, what is so great about this Black History Month in 2019 is we start off with Black history right here in San Francisco with London Breed. London Breed is the first African American mayor of San Francisco. And she delivered her State of the City address Wednesday, January the 30th, delivering her first State of the City address as mayor. London Breed announced, among other things, that plans for a charter amendment to make affordable teacher-assisted housing as a right. This is a bold plan. Now, let me just back up a little bit. To make affordable housing a right for teachers, this is fundamental, folks. I mean, we should have done this a long time ago. This is tip of the iceberg. Teachers need to be paid more. We've got to stop not doing the right things for those that are caretakers of our children and for our families. These teachers are spending more time with our children and grandchildren, nieces and nephews than we are. Yet, we won't pay them a decent salary. They can't afford to live where they work. That will not do. And it is a right, and I commend the mayor This is a bold plan, especially considering that affordable housing is a loose tag name with no strict definition, as many say. But London Breed, myself, as a both being natives of San Francisco and myself being a affordable housing specialist, yeah, we know it's bold, but that's exactly what is needed. It's boldness, courage, and we need a bold affordable housing program. It's a statistical fact, scientific fact that people don't do as well when they're threatened with housing and they're threatened with the lack of housing and the lack of jobs. So what I'd like to see is the job part. We have to get the job part, but you can't even get ready to go to work if you don't have a place. It's very, very hard. Mayor Breed is all too familiar because she grew up here too. So moving on with Black history, we have that is a picture of Dr. Shirley Jackson. Her experiments with theoretical physics paved the way for numerous developments in the telecommunications space industry, in telecommunications space and the touch-tone telephone, the portable fax, caller ID, call waiting, and fiber optic cable. Today, Dr. Shirley Jackson is the 18th president of the Polytechnic Institute in Troy, New York. Black history. When you know who you are, you can hold your head high. You can achieve. You can have the life that you want. Next in Black history, this is Lewis Latimer. Lewis Latimer is an inventor and draftsman. So the next time you're escaping a hot day outside and you go into your cool house, don't forget about Lewis Latimer. Thank him for creating air conditioning. Next, let me just say again, our history is too broad and too vast, just even in America alone. But we're going to do the best we can. We're going to hit the highlights, and we encourage you to learn Black history. Every year that I do a Black History special, and I've been doing this for 12 years or so, I learned something new. It's so much to learn. So this is a picture of Otis Boykin. I'm sorry. Let me catch up, folks. Bear with me. That is Lonnie G. Johnson. Lonnie G. Johnson is an aerospace engineer with NASA with a resume boasting a stint with the U.S. Air Force. He worked on the Galileo Jupiter probe and the Mars Observer project. And he has more than 40 patents. Yes, he is also working on the Johnson thermoelectric energy converter, which converts heat directly into electricity. But it's the squirt gun that he created that has given us the most joy. The next person, that is Lonnie Johnson. We did Latimer. Yes. Oh, that's Otis. Okay, let's go to, so our history is so rich. That's Otis Boykin. Otis Boykin's most notable contribution to science was likely the circuit improvements he made to pacemakers after losing his mother to heart failure. What you will notice is many of the African American or Black inventions are out of necessity. And we become creativity. You know we can take nothing and make something out of it. After his mother's death due to heart failure, his contribution has saved countless lives since. But his single most important improvement was among a long list of achievements. So in other words, the pacemaker is on a long list of achievements. Boykin had 26 patients patents in his name and is famed for the development of IBM computers, burglar-proof cash registers, chemical air filters, and an electronic resistor used to control missiles and other devices. This gentleman is Mr. Morgan. And Mr. Morgan while I'm scrolling for Mr. Morgan, Mr. Morgan was a great inventor. We have so many people that were great inventors. We have so many people that have done so many great things. Let's take a look at we talked about Miss Jackson. Did I get that correct? This is Miss Jackson. Miss Jackson, that's Dr. Jackson. So we did talk about Dr. Jackson. Then let's meet Marie Van Brittan Brown. Marie Van Brittan Brown. Did you know the first home security system was invented by a black nurse? Meet Marie Van Brittan Brown. Although she was a full-time nurse, she recognized the security threats to her home and devised a system that would alert her to strangers at her door and contact relevant authorities as quickly as possible. Her original invention consisted of peepholes, a camera, monitors, monitors, and the two-way microphone. Marie Brittan Brown. Awesome. So we have great people. Our history is so vast. It is so vast. And let me see if I have one more person to introduce you to. Oh, yes, we do. So, we're going to look at Mr. Morgan. You know, I'm doing something new, as you notice. I'm using a computer, and I love it. It's very nice and challenging, and I like a challenge because that allows me to grow. That's Mr. Johnson. That's Mr. Garrett Morgan. He was an inventor. Those who survived either World Wars I or II, thanks to the gas mask, have Garrett Morgan to thank. Morgan created the first safety hood to help firefighters navigate smoky buildings, later modifying it to carry its own air supply, making it the world's first effective gas mask. He also had the good sense to add a third position to the traffic signal. Yes, there was a time when traffic signals just said stop or go. An addition that further reduced automobile accidents. Garrett Morgan, inventor. One of his inventions, the gas mask, saved many lives, thousands of lives. And we are going to conclude with, we're going to conclude with this gentleman. This gentleman is Elijah McCoy. Elijah McCoy, inventor, scientist, often regarded as one of the most famous black inventors ever. McCoy was credited for over 50 inventions over the span of his career. In an effort to improve efficiency and eliminate the frequent stopping necessary for lubrication of trains, McCoy devised a method of automating the lubrication of trains. In 1872, he developed the lubricating cup that could automatically drip oil when and where needed, vital in avoiding sticking to the track. The lubricating cup met with enormous success, and orders for it came in from railroad companies all over the country. It was so popular that when other inventors attempted to steal his idea and sell their own versions of the device, companies were not fooled. They insisted that the authentic device, they insisted on the authentic device, calling it the real McCoy. So when someone says it's the real McCoy, that means that it's genuine. No fake, no fraud, no chase, no cut, no imitation. I want to thank you for joining me for Black History Month, our kickoff for Black History Month. This show is airing right now on Monday at 7:30 on channel 29. If you have DirecTV or another service provider, find out where you can view public television. AT&T DirecTV at one time had channel 99, and satellite the dish, it was on channel 30, but you'll have to update. There's so many venues, so you find the one that works for you. But if you have Comcast, we're on Comcast every Monday at 7:30. So don't take any fakes, don't take any frauds. Make sure it's the real McCoy. Now, I want to say something this is a personal message to every Black person who feels any level of insecurity, who feels inferior, who does not have confidence, who is struck by color. London Breed's grandmother was my complexion. London Breed is successful, not because of color, but because of how she was raised. She was raised by a knowledgeable Black woman and by a knowledgeable family. She's an excellent example of what one can accomplish when one has no fear. Harriet Tubman, we're going to talk about Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman is one of our greatest examples. Cleopatra was the first example. You know, we can go all over the planet and go deep, but right now, since we're in, I want to conclude with San Francisco Weekly News, with San Francisco Bay Area, and particularly San Francisco. You know, I grew up here. Anything that I've ever wanted to do here, I've been able to do, including by God's grace and education. That was what my mother taught me. There's no reason that any of you should be without. There's no reason that any of you should suffer and not have the life that you want. Now, some people just say the lack of African Americans in San Francisco, the lack of good jobs, et cetera, is based on not the white man, it's based on Black people selling out Black people. So let's bring the love back. Then we can operate as a whole. We need to stop sagging those pants, because we got to take a look at ourselves, folks. We got to do it in Black History Month. People of all races are watching us. You know, see, any one of us that acts a fool, they say that most of us are. I meet people all the time who are refreshed by meeting me. I'm sure London Breed, Malia Cohen, Shaman Walton. Oh, Black History Month, let's end with Shaman Walton. We have a Black man, Shaman Walton, Supervisor Shaman Walton, as our supervisor in District 10. I'm a homeowner in District 10, but still, we will now have a Black man with integrity helping lead the city. Maybe he can inspire Willie Brown to get a grip on those developers. But nevertheless, peace and love. Love yourself so that you can love others. You can't have the life that you want when you know who you are. Learn your Black history. Bless you and see you next Monday. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Take care.